Joined by our legal analyst, Paul Harding from Martin, Harding & Mazzotti. Paul, how are you?
Good morning, guys. Well,
Are you all set for Christmas?
Well, I like to do the Christmas Eve dash.
Yeah,
So that's coming up.
I'm with you. It's exhilarating, the adrenaline rush to get everything done.
It is.
Hey, I saw this thing last week, and we didn't have time to get to you last week. But I said I got to ask Paul Harding, could he sell this? We're talking about the Penn State case, and Sandusky's one of his new lawyers says, yeah, he was in the shower soaping up with the kid because he was. These are underprivileged kids, and they need to be taught hygiene. I said I got to ask Paul Harding, Paul, could you sell that to a jury?
Well, you'd have a chance to sell it to a jury, and of course what he's doing is articulating a potential defense, and he's throwing it out there to see where it lands. But the issue is, if we recall the interview with Bob Costas, the famed interview, at no point did Sandusky bring that up. He just talked about horseplay. Yeah. So I think if you're going to go that route, I think the cross-examination or attack on that position is going to be, where did this come from? Yeah. You had a 10-minute, 20-minute interview, and you never talked about it.
Is there as you look at a case and when you're before a jury, are you cognizant of you have to be careful not to insult their intelligence because it will really backfire on you?
Yeah, definitely. They are scrutinizing the defense. They don't want to be sold something that is inconsistent with logic. But I would say that there are, that this defense, that there are. I know that there are, some folks who don't balance a checkbook and have never been exposed to certain things like that, and that's where they're going with this. I think this does qualify for what you said, that people are going to look at this and say, "Come on,
yeah, really,
come on, I'm not going down this road," and then they can hang their hat on the fact that this is the first time we're hearing about this. He had a chance to bring this up on the interview.
Well, it's almost like his attorney is kind of backpedaling. Once he put that out there, then he came out with a statement later that kind of clarified it, saying, oh, I wasn't suggesting that this is what he was doing. I was just saying that that is one of the scenarios that an adult could possibly be showering with a child.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
The good news is, if your attorney says something stupid, you're not held to it. So this is not something that Sandusky said, not something that's going to come up at trial. My best guess is they threw it out. It didn't float at all, and we're not going to hear this at the trial.
Let me ask you another question about these grand jury testimonies that we keep hearing. There's an awful lot of information coming out in great detail. I don't recall hearing this kind of information coming out from pre-trial activities in other cases.
Yeah, they have a unique. Pennsylvania has a bit of a unique scenario. They do the grand jury, then they do this preliminary hearing. We don't have quite that much. You're right. That's an excellent observation, Kelly. We don't have that system like that where this information is going to flow out pre-trial. They do, and of course, the administrators who are being looked at for whether they lied to a grand jury. The judge went ahead yesterday and said, "Yep, there's enough evidence. We can have a trial," and they will.
So in New York, though, you have the grand jury, then you have the indictment, then you go right to trial, right? We don't have the preliminary hearing, or do we, in New York?
You're going to have one or the other. Yeah, you're not going to get both.
Mm-hmm.
Here they get two bites at the apple.
All right. Hey, real quickly, what did you make of Gloria Allred, who's not licensed in New York, representing these guys in the Bernie Fine case?
Well, if you're not licensed in the state, you can make a motion to be admitted for a particular case, and you get someone to support you, which I'm sure she'll have no problem doing. Yeah, that's a real case. Boeheim's comments fit squarely within the definition to move forward anyway with a defamation lawsuit.
Yeah.
I will tell you that, she seems to be jet-setting all over the country on these.
Hey, Paul, have a great holiday season. Good luck with your Christmas Eve scramble.
Maybe we'll see you there. Maybe we'll see you at the mall.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a great one. Paul Harding, Martin Harding Mazzotti. Take care. 1-800-LAW-1010.